Howdy folks, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. Last time we were doing lots of these inequality puzzles over here, which are very fun. Oh, we learned a new mechanic, didn't we? Yes, difference, but we'll save that, I think. We'll chip away on another area. Let's do this one on the right. What were you? I think we did all of the, oh, we didn't do all of these, okay. What were you? Bricky. Ah, no crosses. This is tricky to visualize, but okay. So those have to be joined, those have to be joined. Okay, so you must continue, you're a 4. So there's gonna be some issue, like if we were to go like one of these ways, it would cause some issue, maybe? Not convinced that's true. Except maybe it would with this. Bricky area number. So you might be part of that, but you might also not be part of that. Hold on, here. So this cannot go up, so you have to go that way. So you're a 4, so then this and this. Therefore, you're not part of that, because that would be make it too big. You're not part of that, so make it too big. Done. Yay. There we go. Finally clicks on it. Using shift click to outline complete regions can help reveal contradictions. Sure. Very late to be telling me these things. I mean, I get it, why it's telling me for this, because yeah, it highlights the crosses or whatever, but like it's going to bother me slightly, I think, because it'll be like, oh, I've made a mistake, but I haven't made a mistake. I'm just in the progress of doing in the process of doing the actual thing I was trying to do. So something about how these line up. Well, yeah, if you go down this way, then you form a cross here, so you have to go that way. Okay. Then this, then this, then you. Okay. Then the rest will solve itself. I'd like to be able to get rid of this thing at the top. Do we have any more crosses right now? Well, if this were 2, we'd make a cross. That has to be 3. So that has to be at least that. This has to be a 2. Ooh, it can't be a 2. Uh-oh. So that has to be that, that has to be that. Problem? Could those have been 3s? I think I put them in too early. So you do that. Let's do this again. That has to be that, that has to be that. So you can't join those, you have to be like that. Those can continue. Yeah, that's my mistake. I just immediately made that at least can continue. That you're a 2. I think I maybe did this one and automatically did this one because of like symmetry, but yeah. It's not actually symmetrical. But this and this. So this is how we actually progress here. Put this here. You definitely don't go that way. And if you were to stop, that would make this a 3. I mean, I guess at least we know that this is a 2. If you were to stop, you'd be across here. That would be fine if that were a 3. This is its own thing. So this has to be a 2 here. If that's the case, then this has to continue. Okay, here we go. 2. This is going to have to be at least to there. So you're a 2, you're a 2, you're a 2. Oh, no, you're a 3. The crosses are hard to see. We're done. The crosses are hard to see. Which is maybe a reason to keep the errors on, I guess. So, okay, so just this and Bricky. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, so. For example, well, if one sticks out of here, then we have to do like this, and then this, and that we can't do. So they can't stick out. So they're going to spiral one way around it. If they spiral this way, no crosses are made, of course. They can spiral either way, but there's going to be some issue. So there would be like this here, so that would be there, and there. Yeah, there's going to be a sequence of spirals. Right, and so if we did it the other way, this would end up being here instead, forming a cross. So the way I've just done it is right. I believe. Am I committing? I'm hoping it's true. It might turn out to not be true. Yay, it was true. Neat. There's a 2 down there. Sure, we'll do you. 1 and these. Okay. So this. Oh, not that. That. Could continue up. There's going to be something about the ones causing lots of crosses, right? Or something. Like if you're like this, at least you're definitely either this or this. Would there be a problem with that? I don't know if there would. What would go here? A 1, making this. And then this has to be a 1. So then that has to continue, which it could not. There's got to be a nice way of saying that, but I think I've done it basically. And that is the only way this can go, yeah. So you're like that, or like this. If you're like this can't be a T shape, so it's going to have to be a 1. It's going to have to be a 1, but then this would have to be a... Yeah, sorry, this would have to continue because of this thing. Yeah, okay, I'll take that, that's fine. But now what? Anytime there's like 2 1s next to each other, they cause a T shape. They cause an almost cross shape, basically. Or 3 1s next to each other definitely cause a cross. Well, unless they're in a line, that's fine. But like in an L shape, they cause a cross. So here, if you were a 1, you'd make this necessarily a T shape, which would put a T shape there, which it would be fine. In fact, I think that's how this is going to go, right? It's going to be rotationally symmetric. Right, interesting. This is a 2. This is more complicated than 2. So the alternative would be you being a T shape, which would create a cross there. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay, yep, I can do this. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is a 2. So then it's the same logic. We've got exactly the same situation. This can't be here because it would cause a set of 1s down here. Yeah. Okay, so it is going to be rotationally symmetric. I want these to all be red. There we go. But oh, blue, red. No. Oh, I can still change it. There we go. Where was that? Was that down there? Oh, I can't really see the beauty of my colouring in. Oh, okay, so that was, I guess, on this platform. I didn't even realize. 3 and 2x2. 3 and 2x2. Okay. This can't be a 2x2, this one. Because if it were, it would create a corner there with a cross. So, it has to be 3, can't be 3 that way, so it's a 3 that way. So you are a 3 this way as well. Okay. That has to be that. If it were a 3, it would cause a cross here. So it's not, it's a 2x2. So you're a 3. This is the 3. And now this has to be joined. Can't be a 3, so it has to be a 2x2. You're a 3. Can't be 3 that way, could be a 3 that way. This can't be a 3 in either direction because then nothing would fit here, so you're a 2x2. So this is a 3. Do we have 2 3s here? I guess we do. We must do. Okay. For the maths to work out. 2. This and that, okay. Ugh. What, is there really more than one way these can fit together? Oh, in fact, yeah, if that goes like that, then we form a cross here. So the obvious way to fit these together isn't the right way. So wait, how else can these do anything? What? What? Oh, I bet we don't use that. It's a red herring. We don't use that at all. Those are the only ways that can go, and we just use the other one. Yeah, okay. Now the question is how? If we were to do this, for example, it would create an edge like this, which I guess would be fine. In fact, doesn't it need to be like that? Because 22... How many 2s into 22? Yeah, an odd number of 2s. So yeah, okay. So it has to be that. I hope I'm right here. And then we have to avoid crosses still. So here and here. Here and here. Here. Neat. Sneaky red herring shapes. There might be red herrings here as well, although there's not, because we know we have to use them all. Okay, so these are ones. I often will shift click a 1, hoping for it to just fill it in. I guess it could, as just like a slightly convenience function or interaction. Anyway, so you have to fit in here without creating crosses, I guess. If you were here, well, you still wouldn't create a cross. Or here, or here. Okay, where are the crosses going to come from? Bricky is a strange name for this. Oh, I guess I get it. They mean in terms of when you're laying bricks, you always want to stack them like this, right? So you're avoiding the crosses. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, so at the very least, this goes to here, right? And this goes to here, and this goes to here. So therefore, you are either that or that. If you're this, then these have to be covered up. That's fine. You'd be a 2x2. Ooh, interesting. So yeah, if it was like this, then these would be like this, so it'd have to be a 2x2 because nothing else would fit. But then these would have to be like this, which I can't do. So I think that means you necessarily go upwards. Does that end up working out nicely somehow? That has to be a 2x2. That's to be a 1. So that's to be like this. This has to be a 1. This has to be a 1. I guess that's fine. Yes, that's fine. Surprisingly. This could still be a 2x2 or it could be part of this 3x3. That has to go to this. This is a 3x3. Cool. This has to be here. So this is going to be a 2x2. You're a 2x2 as well. Because if there were ones that would make a cross in the middle. This has to be here, which has to be you. 1, 1. This has to be here. It could be 2 here, but if it were 2x2 here, then 1, 1. That's fine actually. That is fine. This has to be a 1. So, in fact, that might be a better place to start the whole thing, maybe. That has to be like that. This has to at least be this. Could be more. At least this is true. So it has to be, yes, it has to be like that. Okay. That has to go to there, so you are this. You're this. 1, 1. And then somehow in here we sort stuff out. 1, 1. Yay! Let's do this too. 1. So shape back. It's the same set of shapes. And bricky, of course. Oh. Right, so this has to go this way. Because if it were here, we'd absolutely have a corner. Oh, these can be the same shape. Okay, it's not a 6 down. Sorry, it's not a 9 down here. Okay, we've got this, we've got this. This has to go this way. So that can't join that. So this is a 2x2 down here. This is this. You're like this. You're a 2x2. You're like this. So you are like that. 1, 1. You're like that. So you're like that. 1, 1. Sometimes I do feel like I'm rushing a little bit, but whatever. You have to be like this. So you're a 2, 2. 1, 1. I like these fractally patterns. They're nice. These can't join. They couldn't have been bigger anyway. There we go. Cute. I take no moment to look over my work. You're a 1, you're a 3x3 then, because of the crosses that would form here, right? Yep. Okay. It's a quick start. This has to be this. 1, 1. It's the same set of shapes again. Yep, that. 1, 1. Could be 1, 1 down here. That would be fine. Or here. This has to be 2x2. 2b2. 1, 1. 1. 2b2. 1, 1. 2b2. Neat. Well, I've restored this window apparently. That was speedy. Where is it? Here. Weren't we like... Did we do this one? We were 2 away from silvering this. Okay, let's silver this. Okay, 3. So no other constraints except this. Oh, I see. There's some kind of loop going on here, isn't there? So you can't be a 1, so you're at least a 2. Which makes you at least a... something else. You're also at least a 2. So all the big sides of things are at least 2s. So we can always just do this. If there's only one way to go. Since you're at least a 2, you're at least a 3, and you're at least a 4. And that's going to I can see how that's going to propagate around here, but in fact you can't go up, so you have to go there, so yeah. So then you're at least a 6, etc. So what do we know so far? Potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And is that going to hit there? Probably, because that can't go here. That has to be bigger than that. So yes, that is going to hit here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at least. Okay. I think that's true. And this is 5 at least, so you have to at least go there. You can't go down. Hope that was all true. There's another one that has to be even bigger than this. This is a 6. But this has to... Oh, I'm scared now. This has to be bigger than that. So this can't go, this can't continue. This is done. Oh. This has to be bigger than this. Is that possible? Maybe it's possible by like winding down. This is going to be a 1. This is going to come up here. That's 4. 5, 6. It needs 1 more. It might go here. And then this is like this middle bit. You're a 1. You don't go up that way, obviously. And then this bigger one that has to be bigger than the 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Yeah, okay, we're done. We are done. Yay! Cool. 3. I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing. So at least a 2. Like these all have to be different areas to each other for sure. At least a 2. Well, at least the 1, but I mean, that's everything. At least a 3, at least a 4, at least a 5. These might end up adding up to the total 36. At least a 6, at least a 7, at least an 8. There's also this space up here, which I think will do something interesting maybe. And so obviously that can't be that region. So that's true as well. So that would be 1 plus 2, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36. Okay, so that is everything. Cute. So you are a 1. It was a 36, right? Yes. You're a 1. So something has to take this at some points, but I don't know when. You're a 2, for sure. So these are not greater than equals, they are just equals. This is going to have to at least expand out of here to some degree. Same here, same here. So then this 4 has to be that. Okay. This is going to have to come out at least to there. It may go further. It's going to come out to here. Probably all that then, and you go into the middle, but that's that done. That's that done. In fact, if this comes out, this can't get 6 without squishing the 7 in, so it doesn't come out, so you go there. You must go down. That's the 6 done, 7 goes up this way, 8 goes up this way, 7 goes into this space where it's 7, and we're done. Neat. What difficulty was that? Was that one? Yeah, it was that one. It was a 3, okay. This is now silver. Okay, let's jump around some more. Well, let's go back to this. Let's make a bit more progress here. 2. Okay, equality, well, Gemini, equal shapes. I guess that's the reason that's not just an equal sign, because we're not saying it's equal numbers, because we're using inequality for the other things, yeah. Okay, but these have to be equal shapes. I guess these are not the same shape, no. I was going to say they're kind of close, they're not kind of close at all. And Bricky and Gemini, okay, equal shapes. Well, these can't be 1s. Yeah, okay, cute. If they were 1s, we'd have a cross here, so they must continue. If there were 2s, we'd have a cross here, so they must continue. If there were 3s, we'd have a cross here, so they must keep going. If you stopped here, we'd have a problem, so you must go either that way or that way. How can we figure out which way? Same if you stopped here. Well, you can't continue downwards because there's no 5 in here. Felt like 5 long, so that has to stop there. You have to go this way. You're going to need a 4 at some point, and the only 4 you can get is this 4. Okay. So that is true as well. So that's a 1. Okay, are we done? We might actually be done. Are we done? Yes, because we can't extend this on either end. Yep. Cool. Very cool. What about this one? Bricky Gemini Delta. Bricky Gemini Delta. Oof. So once again, this can't be 1 and 1. Because if it were, we'd have a cross. So this has to continue. But that can't go down because then it has to be the same and different. So it has to go that way. It may stop there. Okay, we can do similar logic here, right? This can't be 1 and 1, because if it were 1 and 1, we'd have a cross here, so this has to continue. But this can't go that way, so that has to be part of that. So we have a 3. We know it's a 3, I think. Yes. So you're a 1. U can be a 1, that's fine. Well, this has to be a 3, and it can't go that way, can't go that way, so it could either be here or here. If it's here, then that's not different, so it's here. Okay. And then this can't be a 3. Well, it can't be 3 anyway. It could be a 1. If it were a 1, then that'd have to go that way. And that'd be a 2. That'd be fine. Do you have any crosses we can... Yes, okay, here we go. Don't forget to look for the crosses. So at least that's true. It can't be more because... Okay, so that has to be a 2. So that has to be a 1. That's a 2, and we're done. Yay! Still some more down here. No other constraints. Okay, just 1s and 2x2s. Just 1s and 2x2s. This can't be a... Maybe it can. Yeah, it can be a 1. This can't be a 1. Because if it were, it'd create a border there. So you're definitely part of a 2x2 in some direction. Which direction? Well, not this direction. So either this or this. What can I figure out about that? Well, these would have to be 1s, which made that a 2, if it were that one. But if, oh, okay. So hold on, if it's like that, then these have to be 1s, and that has to be a thing, and then we made a crosshair, so it's the other one? That's probably a nicer way of coming to that conclusion, but I'll accept it. Next. I think I can do a similar thing with this space. Can't be a 1. Can be a 2x2. Has to be a 2x2. Can't be a 2x2 like that. So it's either like this. If it's like that, then there'd be a bunch of 1s around here that would form a cross in this corner. So it's like that, I think. Yay. Okay. So a P and a big P. P and a flag. So something's got to come out of here. And I mean, this flag can't fit, so it has to be this flag. Wait, doesn't it have to go like that? Isn't that the only way that can work, regardless of Bricky? Maybe that ends up forcing this side, because then this has to be like this. Because of that, it doesn't go this way, right? So it has to go this way. Have I done something wrong? Maybe I've done something wrong. This can't be this flag, so it has to be this little P. Wait, how does this even add up? It doesn't add up. It does add up. It definitely adds up, obviously, but how can, if that's like that, again, it can't come this way and then turn. There's no turns like that, right? Right. So it has to come up this way and do something over here. It can't be you, because you'd have to extend further up. So it has to be you, but then the other one doesn't fit in. Have I made a mistake over here? This has to come out of here. It has to be the P. Because the other one wouldn't fit. Has to be the P. It could be the P that way around, but then there's no way this would fit. So it has to be a P this way around. Ah, but maybe it's just more P's. It's not going to be more P's. It has to be like that. Okay, we're back to this again. If we're back to this again. What am I missing about how this could work? This cannot be the stem of the big flag. Nope. So it is the stem of the P. Which can only go like that, but then the other thing doesn't fit. I gotta be doing something wrong here. Bricky. But that is a problem. Am I wrong about this? No, it has to be the point of one of these flags. Can't be this way around. Oh. Has to be this way around. It can't be the other taller flag because there's not enough space. So it has to be this way around. And then this has to be this. There's nothing else that would fit there. So then, this. Am I somehow just not visualizing a way that this could work? In fact, I feel like on this side, the only way they can fit together is like this, which is contradictory with the other thing. Is it not? You're suggesting to me that's somehow not contradictory. I can't put the P shape around this edge. What? I guess that's not the only way that can fit in there, right? It could be like... There's going to be sneaky. There's a red herring thing here. Yeah, there's a red herring thing here. I see it. Yeah, but it has to go like that. Red herring. It's not the two things. It's just P shape and P shape. Sorry, not that way. P shape, P shape, P shape. Yes, there we go. So sneaky. So sneaky. All right, I think we'll leave that there. We might continue with this area next time, or maybe we'll do the one in the middle. Or maybe we'll jump down here. I don't know. We could do anything. The world is our oyster. All right, I'll see you next time, and we'll decide then. All right, goodbye.